lesson, we will discuss the air conditioning controls and indications. The air panel is located on the cockpit overhead panel. When the Pack 1 or Pack 2 push button is in the on position with the lights out, the pack is on and regulated automatically. When the Pack 1 or Pack 2 push button is pressed and the white off light is illuminated, the pack is off. The Pack 1 or Pack 2 push button amber fault light illuminates when any pack valve position disagrees with the requested position, the pack overheats, the pack has failed, or there is a bleed leak on one pack. When the Hot Air 1 or Hot Air 2 push button is in the on position with the lights out, the hot air valves are controlled automatically. When the Hot Air 1 or Hot Air 2 push button is pressed and the off light is illuminated, the hot air valve is closed. The Hot Air 1 or Hot Air 2 amber fault light illuminates in the push button when overheat is detected in the applicable duct. The fault light extinguishes when the overheat condition no longer exists and the push button is selected off, then reset by pressing it again. The Ram Air push button switch on the air panel activates the emergency Ram Air. When the guarded Ram Air push button light is out, the Ram Air inlet is closed. When the guard is lifted and the Ram Air push button is pressed, the on light illuminates, provided that the ditching push button on the cabin pressure panel is not set to on. When the on light illuminates and the differential pressure is less than 2 psi, the Ram Air inlet opens and each outflow valve opens to approximately 50%. If the differential pressure is greater than or equal to 2 psi, each outflow valve continues to operate normally. In this condition, the Ram Air inlet opens, but the check valve downstream of the emergency Ram Air inlet does not open and no air is supplied to the mixer unit. When the cockpit selector or the cabin selector is set to the 12 o'clock position, the respective cockpit or cabin temperature is 24 degrees Celsius. Each gradation corresponds to 2 degrees Celsius. When the cabin selector is set to purser select, the cabin temperature is only controlled from the flight attendant panel. The bleed system display page displays several air conditioning pack components. There are 2 pack valves per pack, but only 1 valve per pack is active. Therefore, only one symbol is displayed to represent the state of both valves. An inline green pack valve indicates that the active pack valve is open. A crossline amber pack valve indicates that both pack valves of the same pack are failed closed. An inline amber pack valve indicates that at least one pack valve of the same pack is failed open. 2 amber X's indicate that pack valve information is not valid. The needle indicates the airflow through the pack valve. A green needle in the 12 o'clock position indicates that the pack flow is normal. A green needle in the 9 o'clock position with an amber crossline pack valve indicates that there is no flow rate and the pack valve is closed. 2 amber X's indicate that the airflow information is not valid. Pack controller indications are only displayed when one of the 2 channels has failed. An amber 2 indicates that channel 2 of the pack controller has failed and channel 1 of the pack controller is operating. An amber 1 and 2 indicate that both pack controller channels have failed and that the pack controller is inoperative. In this case, the pack continues to operate but at a fixed 15 degrees Celsius temperature. Pack distribution indications only appear when the pack is supplied with bleed air. A green arrow indicates that the pack is operating and cool air is being supplied to the mixer unit. An amber arrow indicates that the pack has failed. Pack indications are comprised of the word pack and the pack numbers. When the pack number is green, the pack is operative. When the pack number is amber, the pack is inoperative. Pack temperature values displayed in green indicate normal temperatures. The temperature values located above the pack valve indication display the pack compressor outlet temperature and the pack outlet temperature. In the image displayed, the pack compressor outlet temperature is 180 degrees Celsius and the pack outlet temperature is 22 degrees Celsius. Pack temperature values displayed in amber indicate overheat. An amber regulation indication is displayed when pack regulation is lost or degraded, or when the pack is in bypass mode. An amber inlet indication is displayed when the pack compressor inlet temperature is overheating. The condition system display page displays most of the air conditioning and cargo compartment valve and temperature indications. The More label on the condition system display page indicates that more information is available on the condition system display More page. The More push button on the ECAM control panel is used to display the condition system display More page. Cockpit, cabin, and cargo temperature indications are displayed in Celsius. During normal operations, the temperature indications are green. A green arrow and associated pack number is displayed when the pack operates normally. A green hot air duct line and arrow indicates the hot air valve is open. If the hot air duct indication is blank, the associated hot air valve is closed. An amber hot air duct line and arrow indicates that the associated hot air valve is open and both associated pack valves are closed. A green crossline valve indicates that the emergency ram air inlet is closed. A green inline valve with an arrow indicates that the emergency ram air inlet is open. An amber crossline valve indicates that the emergency ram air inlet is abnormally closed. An amber overheat indication is displayed when a duct is overheated in a corresponding area, such as a cockpit, cabin, or cargo compartment. A green crossline hot air valve indicates that the valve is closed. An amber inline hot air valve indicates that the valve is abnormally open. An amber crossline hot air valve indicates that the valve is abnormally closed. Two amber X's on the hot air valve indicate that the information is not valid. If there are no recirculation fans displayed on the condition system display page, all recirculation fans operate normally. A green recirculation fan indicates that the associated fan operates normally, but at least one other recirculation fan has failed. An amber recirculation fan indicates that the associated fan has failed. When the recirculation ducts are absent from the condition system display page, all the recirculation fans operate normally. A green recirculation duct indicates that at least one of the associated fans operates normally, and at least one of the other 4 fans has failed. An amber recirculation duct indicates that at least one of the associated fans has failed. An amber associated cargo extraction fan indicates that the extraction fan has failed. A partially open green associated cargo isolation valve indicates that the valve is open. A partially open amber associated cargo isolation valve indicates that the valve is abnormally open. amber heater indication is displayed when the bulk cargo heater has failed and the temperature in the bulk cargo compartment cannot be regulated.